One of Motion Industries' special shop capabilities is the fabrication of hydraulic power units. Power units provide the fluid flow and pressure that's needed to do work. This work is accomplished through the control valves and other complementary products that's needed to meet the customer's application requirements. So my first question in regards to power units is, are they one size fit all, or are they all different?
They're just about all different. I mean, we have little bitty ones. We have like 10-gallon tanks. This is a 150-gallon tank, and then you have some that are 1,100 gallons, which are really, really large. So it's whatever they need.
We built one unit that was about 3,500-gallon tank. It was huge. So we can do anything from like the small to large and run anything hydraulic that we can run.
So how does a power unit fabrication begin?
Basically, you need to know how much flow you're going to need, what kind of load you got to move. We have fluid power specialists, in the field that can design this stuff, and they get all those parameters and they'll send them to our engineering group, and then they'll basically design a power unit. They'll have the flow, the pressure, the size tanks, and all the different valving that you'll need to basically to run that system, and then we'll fabricate it for that schematic and bill of material. It can be anywhere from a small 5-gallon tank, 3-gallon tank, up to 1,000-gallon tank.
Let's go ahead and take a look at some more power units being built in Motion shops. We'll start with these large power units, which are used for an oil rig application.
Basically, this panel right here controls all your pumps. Of course, we connected up to an 800 horsepower engine, but if all these pumps were loaded up, you wouldn't be able to start the engine with your drive shaft connected.
If someone's on the rig and something happens, they can hit the E-stops and kill the engines. Don't have to run inside the cab. The doors are equipped so if they're shut and a person's inside and anything happens, they shove this and automatically opens the handle from inside. All this has been insulated. They want it for sound and moisture. So everything's insulated in the cab.
We actually built this power unit for a customer before. They really liked it, so we're going to build another one. When we build a power unit, we take a lot of pictures and a lot of measurements so that if they order another one, we can get it back exactly as close as we can to the one that we've already sent them, and they are very close to exactly the same. This particular customer wanted it to be epoxy paint, and so if we have the capabilities to paint the special color that they want, we will paint it epoxy, different colors. We paint some red, some white, some blue. Just depends.
All right, this is an example of some value added. We took a standard Vickers power unit, added an accumulator to it, an accumulator discharge block, put it in a drip pan. We painted a custom color that the customer specified, and it's a very cost-effective way for the customer to get exactly what they want and yet use some inexpensive components that are prepackaged from Eaton Vickers. This is another little power unit that we built down here. This one entirely from scratch. It's just a small unit. It is an OEM-based unit, and basically all we did was design it, put the parts together, and there it is. It's ready to go to paint.
We're always developing new technology, helping customers meet the specifications they want. They may not know what they want, and it's where our skills come into place to help them find exactly what they're looking for. Energy is a big issue today, with the costs and concerns, helping people become more energy efficient, more labor efficient, and just overall efficiency in general.
Okay, so how are the power units tested?
Then we will do the complete testing, full data sheets, and results of those tests for the customer's needs.
When we run them, we check for leaks and all this, and then we have to do filtration. We've got, they hook it up to a computer and they run, see what filtration is on it, and make sure everything's working properly before it leaves.
Well, we know that power units are everywhere. So what are some examples?
We probably serve every single industry that we're in, from the petrochemical industry to pulp and paper, for wood products, for chemical plants, for plastics industry. There's not an industry that we don't service that they don't have hydraulics in some form or fashion.
Power units are found in all different industries, game machines, OEMs building various applications in the construction field, manufacturing processing facilities, We've recently gotten into solar technology, building power units for operating solar reflector shields, test units for tooling to operate on aircraft, lifting up doors and such so they can surface the aircraft without the engines running. It all depends upon wherever the application might require a different type of transmitting of power. We built it for it. I send out new units every day. Some of them are just really fancy, some are not. I built units for testing that they use to test missiles, so they don't have to arm the weapon. They have to control this thing from an outside power source, servo motors, so forth. Built the units for the landing gear. Those were pretty impressive units. I like the cart system, so we redesigned. It was a pretty big success. They really like those. They use those on a train color system to move giant rolls of steel all around. It's all pre-programmed. One man operates multiple carts through the entire plant, hauling 25,000-pound coils of steel. So it's neat to see these things in operation.
I've heard that some motion industries power units even get to rub shoulders with Hollywood.
What have we done? Well, we did the Ricky Martin show, all the stages that were moving for the Ricky Martin show. So there was 7 stages that were moving at any one time, and those were the power unit that we put together and did that. So that was kind of fun. We used proportional controls on that, which they'd never done before, and so it made it work exceptionally well.
Wow, power units really are everywhere. Well, with that in mind, what tip would you give to a new motion salesperson or even a seasoned one who may not have much experience working with power units?
Yeah, I would say you need to be prepared to work on anything. One of the things that happens in this industry a lot is it's always changing. You're always learning, you're always developing. You have to be able to know that there's always a lot of technical support here for us to find the information that you need if you don't have it, and we can retrieve it. I get it directly from the manufacturers and their engineering department. It's always a constantly evolving industry that we're always looking for new ways to do some of the same jobs and new jobs.
I would want the salespeople to know every aspect about our service centers for the repairs, for power units, and know everything that they can take to the customer that has added value.
Especially for new salesmen and new inside salesmen. Getting to know what the shops do, getting to know how they do it, and actually meeting and talking to, just over the phone, a lot of the technicians that are working on your product, you learn an incredible amount about the product. It's the difference in buying from someone that just knows what they're selling and they know what the outside of it looks like, and actually buying from someone that works on the inside of the product and knows something about the inside of it. For instance, a young salesman, he goes on the phone, he's trying to learn about the product and what we do, he can actually call the shop and he can talk to the technicians. When a repair is there, he can say, hey, send me some pictures of this, tell me about what you did. The salesman can also call and get troubleshooting done. So it's very unique. I've had 2 different situations where a young salesman was having trouble getting into a plant, and I just recommended that he just put on some blues and follow the technician, the field service guy, into the plant. So he goes into the plant and he works a day and a half with our field service guy. And how well do you think he got to know the guys in the plant? I mean, the purchasing guy and the plant superintendent, they kept coming out, kept talking to him for a day and a half. So after a day and a half of that, you think the plant's response to him the next time he came out was different? It was absolutely different. And that's something that our competition can do.
Now, this really is a lot of information to sink in, but the last thing that I want to know is what is the added value that separates motion industries from our competition?
Like that, the shops provide us a way to do some value-added services by doing some things that our competitors just can't do. They just don't have the capabilities of doing. And the customers feel comfortable with us because they know motion industries. You know, they know our people, they know we're qualified to do what we say we're going to do, and they know that we're going to come through.
We have the inventory and we have the context. So the inventory in our own system, while we'll complain sometimes about our inventory, still is bigger than anybody else's. And we also have supply contracts with so many different companies out there. So we can typically get parts quicker than anybody else.
Because Motion Industries goes on the on the quality side, on the heavy side, and the way that we build everything. So it's very important to know exactly what we're quoting against. But we're very, very competitive in what we give.
Well, through the whole power unit process, whether it be the specification process, assembly process, testing and fabrication, and installation, we can supply the customer with a complete platform hydraulically and electrically to meet the customer's needs.
I know some people will actually send their stuff here and get it built just because of the good work that we actually do over some other places.
You've got really good people behind you, like Dan, Josh. You go in with confidence, so you're not going to a customer and being very concerned about what you can get accomplished. We know we can. If it's within the laws of physics, we know we can do it with 100% confidence. That really helps build the relationship with the customer because he's really listening to you. He doesn't, so many of them don't know really whether he can trust you or not. He's looking at your eyes, he's looking at your degree of confidence, and if you come across being super confident in your own capabilities, then he's going to go with it. That's what he's looking for. He wants the warm blanket around him that says you can do it and it's going to be right. That's the relationship.